In the latest U.S. polls, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is neck and neck with President Obama in the race for the White House. That might make Romney's visit here in Israel all the more significant. In tight elections, it's often the swing states, places like Florida, Pennsylvania, and Ohio, that determine the outcome of an election. And those are places where significant numbers of Jews live and vote. With polls showing that President Obama is losing support among Jewish voters, Romney is sending a message that he may be a better, stronger, and more loyal friend to the state of Israel. Romney began his visit at the Prime Minister's office, sitting down with Benjamin Netanyahu. The two first met in the 1970s when they both worked at the Boston Consulting Group. It was not until much later, around 2006, that the two reconnected through politics. A top Romney aide told JN1 News the two have developed a strong friendship and see many issues eye to eye.
I'm honored to be here on the day of Tisha B'Av to recognize the solemnity of the day and also the suffering of the Jewish people over the centuries and the millennia, and come with recognition of the sacrifices of so many. Unfortunately, the tragedies of wanton killing are not only things of the past, but have darkened our skies in even more recent times. Your perspectives with regards to Iran and its effort to become a nuclear-capable nation are ones which I take with great seriousness, and look forward to chatting with you about further actions that we can take to dissuade Iran from their nuclear folly.
His willingness to take a tougher stand on Iran than President Obama is the message Romney wants to send to U.S. Jewish voters and Israelis. How tough? A senior Romney aide said that if Israel has to take action on its own against Iran, the governor would respect that. Supporting an Israeli strike on Iran stands in contrast to President Obama's reported attempts to dissuade Israel from any action. Netanyahu praised Romney's position on Iran.
I have to say that I heard some of your remarks a few days ago. You said that the greatest danger in the world is of the Ayatollah regime possessing nuclear weapons capability. I couldn't agree with you more. And I think it's important to do everything in our power to prevent the Ayatollahs from possessing that capability.
Netanyahu believes a credible threat of military action must be coupled with sanctions in order to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons. It's no secret that Israel doesn't believe President Obama has succeeded in creating a credible threat of military action. Netanyahu and Romney reportedly discussed the political upheavals in Syria and Egypt, as well as the peace process. Those subjects came up again with Israeli President Shimon Peres and Defense Minister Ehud Barak. On the peace process, a top aide told JN1 News that Romney doesn't believe Israel has a partner for peace right now on the Palestinian side. Romney did not schedule a meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, but did meet with top leader Salam Fayyad. Romney famously said during the primaries that President Obama had, quote, thrown Israel under the bus. Skipping over Jerusalem on his way to Cairo, missteps in the peace process, public criticism of Israel, and going soft on Iran have been Romney and others' criticisms of Obama. But the sitting president defends his commitment to Israel, saying his administration has made unprecedented contributions to the country's security. While Romney began his diplomatic trip abroad, Obama signed new legislation strengthening cooperation and adding another $70 million in defense aid. The question is whether the Israeli visit will pay off for Romney with Jewish voters in the U.S.
For Romney, he's got an uphill battle with Jewish voters because Jewish voters in America, vote Democrat. 78% voted for Obama, according to the exit polls. Obama's doing a little less well, but 68%, I think, in the last poll of the last few days. That's not too bad. Romney would want to sort of chip away at the support, and I think he thinks that Obama is a little bit vulnerable on Israel, among other things, simply because he didn't come here as president.
Romney's aides say he only needs to get a few important percentage points of the Jewish vote in key states like Florida and Ohio to help him tip the balance in his favor. But one has to wonder if the economy and not Israel will determine the vote for or against Romney. If you're wondering how Israelis see Mitt Romney, you may be surprised by the results of a poll that was recently done at the Begin Sadat Center at Tel Aviv University. When asked who would better promote Israel's interests, Obama or Romney, 29% of Israelis chose Romney, only 22% chose Obama, and a whopping 49% said they weren't sure. Now, Romney has no record on Israel, and yet he still beat the sitting American president. That tells you also how little trust Israelis have in President Obama. Jordana Miller, JN1, Jerusalem.